As we get closer to the midterm elections, we're starting to see more and more campaign ads. And like every election year, I'm sure you're going to see some that go right up to the line of what's civil and acceptable. But there was at least one recently that both sides agreed crossed a line, leading to an apology and a promise to do better. Tara Simmons wasn't running for public office, so when she found herself at the center of a political attack ad,
it was half-truth, and I think it was very disheartening.
Simmons, who once turned to drugs to cope with trauma from her childhood,
Ended up in prison for selling drugs and stealing to support my habit.
had since turned her life around, winning a very public battle to become an attorney in Washington state despite her past. But that success story turned into ammunition in a political campaign.
Emily Randall has consistently failed to back our law enforcement.
The ad, this mailer, was aimed at Democratic candidate for state Senate, Emily Randall, but on it was this line about Tara Simmons.
Randall has supported Tara Simmons, a drug-addicted ex-con who was denied admission to the Washington State Bar Association due to multiple felony convictions.
A drug-addicted ex-con. As a negative, your story as a negative. Yeah. What was that like after everything you had tried to do for yourself?
Well, I mean, it is painful because it's also not true. Like, I'm not drug addicted. I'm very proud that I have 7 years in recovery now.
And sure enough, that attack ad came up during a face-to-face we arranged between the head of the state Democratic Party, Tina Podlodowski, and the head of the state Republicans, Caleb Heimlich.
She's exactly the sort of person who's changing their lives, yet they do a hit piece on trying to get to Emily Randall through Tara Simmons.
We asked Heimlich how he would pledge to handle candidates in his party who run hit pieces that cross the line.
I pick up the phone. I mean, and I did that in the case of the ad that you've referenced down in the 26. That was an inappropriate ad, bringing in a private citizen, a private individual who's worked hard to make their life better. They should not be a part of a political attack ad. That's not in bounds.
You picked up the phone and called someone about it?
Mm-hmm.
Who'd you call?
I called the people that did the ad.
What'd you say to them?
I said, we shouldn't do this. And they recognize that.
What do you make of that?
I say thank you. Thank you for doing that. I think that's appropriate.
But she urged him to take that apology a step further.
The other person who I think needs a call is, if you haven't had a chance to, is the woman who was attacked, so that she knows that you did that, and she knows that you're going to make sure that that doesn't happen to anybody else. Yeah. I think Tara Simmons would really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Is that something you think you'd be willing to do?
I would be happy to do that.
Thank you.
And days later, Caleb Heimlich did make that call to Simmons.
I just wanted to personally tell you, I think you're a great success story of overcoming obstacles, and I admire your commitment to serving others. I think that's truly admirable. And I am personally sorry your name got drug into this.
It was a very nice message, and I felt like, really reassured and grateful that, somebody with that kind of position would call and leave me this very sincere voicemail.
Does it give you hope at all for maybe future political campaigns in this state?
Yeah, I hope that, people will be more thoughtful and intentional and, stick to the issues. I think that we have enough hatred in our world and enough, darkness, and we should, have disagreements, but not be disrespectful to each other.
And it's her hope that the ordeal has taught both parties a lesson.
As we head into the midterm elections, what is your pledge that your candidates are going to focus on ideas and that they are not going to get buried in the nastiness that can become these campaigns? What's your pledge to each other?
Yeah, that's what I hope that we're going to do. That's what I hope to see. And that's what I hope that you'll do with your candidates as well, and we'll do with your party as well, in making that happen.
Obviously, we have disagreements. We have different views for the future of our state, for our communities, and I think it's important that those be discussed, those be displayed, and that voters make their choices on which direction they want to go. But I absolutely think we can do that in a way that's, we can disagree without being disagreeable.
For your side, if somebody comes out and you've got a Dem who's running an ad that's attacking someone or that doesn't meet the bar that you just told me that you've set, what do you do to that candidate?
We'll do the same thing and pick up the phone and talk to them about that.
If I see any ads that are nasty, I'm going to call both of you and be like, did you call them? Do you have a problem with this ad? And I expect you to follow through on this.
Here's the thing, if the two of us could be sitting at the same desk and we could get rid of those ads, I'm going to say that based on the conversation we've had here today, we'll try our best to do that.
Yeah.
So if you see a political ad that you think fails to meet the standards both party leaders say they will hold themselves to, let me know, because I would be happy to remind them of the promises they made to us, to you, and to each other.